also have the DBro Brown right here. Derek Brown from Fantasy Pros. This is Level 9 show. And we got DBro here. DBro, tell us a little bit about yourself. What's the great stuff you're doing on Fantasy Pros, the primer, the top 100, the videos, the content you keep pushing out there at Fantasy Pros. Talk to us about it.
Dude, it's been wild. I've been, we're all in the content streets. I mean, shoot, it's a great and it's a terrible thing, but like going up to the NFL draft, I try to do as many spots as I can, cram in all the content and stuff, as well as, everything I got going on at Fantasy Pros. Positional primers are all live, building to my top 100, which will be live Thursday to kick off round 1 of the NFL draft, man. I mean, dude, just to give you a small snapshot of my week, like Monday, I was on camera. I think I did 5 shows on Monday. And in between, if I wasn't on camera, like I was picking up kids, running them the stuff. I had a show immediately right after my daughter's piano, not recital, like practice or whatever. And I think I was on camera for like 7 or 8 hours on Monday, but that's just kind of been how the week is, boys. So I'm ready to talk ball, and I'm ready for the NFL draft to be here.
Yes. Yeah. And you guys usually hear Natter. Natter's usually on, but Natter had some technical difficulties, guys. So he couldn't get on today. So we're going to run with it unless, wait, I'm hearing something from the producer. Wait, what does it say here? Wait, hold on. God is on here? Wait, we got DBro. Yeah, DBro he's a guy. No. He's a guy to fantasy. He's a guy. But no, they're telling me God is on here. God, are you here?
Hello there.
Oh, it is God. Well, how is your day going, sir?
Oh, it was going good until I realized that it's a thing that power goes out. I didn't know that happened.
You can't fix that, God? You should be able to fix that easily. Come on.
I can't fix a sandwich right now, but since I am playing that role, I've decided there was a couple things that I wanted to change. Okay. Laws of physics, like first of all, no work on Friday. That should be illegal. Should be illegal on like 51 states in Canada. Second of all,
can I petition God for something right now?
I'm listening.
The NFL draft to be a national holiday. Is that possible?
Yes.
You tell the other powers that be that make holidays to make that happen.
Yes.
All 3 days and the following Monday, God.
Yeah, I'm trying to do it. I've been trying to figure it out to push it till Friday. That way, it's a longer weekend. But you know what? Apparently, cricket is a more popular sport, and they got dibs on that. And since I'm adding that, I've decided I also wanted to add a different law. And you know what? You guys can feel free to debate me on this one, but I think that it should be illegal for a guy to wear blue jeans.
Oh, no, I'm debating you on that one. I wear
blue jeans? Yeah,
what
is the problem with blue jeans?
Right.
I see. The thing is with blue jeans, it's like whatever outfit you wear, black or khaki jeans will match it better, regardless. You pick
khaki
a color.
Jeans? Wait, God, what is a khaki jeans?
Like the color khaki, whatever. Beige.
No, are you advocating for khaki denim over regular? No.
Hey, yeah, like it's better than blue jeans. But the color blue jeans, I don't know. I can't think of an outfit where I'm like, you know what? I need blue jeans over like black ones or the color khaki.
I don't even know what kind of trouble I'm going to get myself into, but I'll just say what I got to say here. God needs a style coach. Jeez.
Yeah, big time. Come on. Yeah, you're too back. You're too much back in the old days, bro. You got to step up.
Just can't do it. Just can't do it.
But what's so special about blue color jeans that makes it so like, oh, I need to wear blue?
It goes with anything.
No. We need to explore the other side of this. What's so wrong with blue jeans that you hate them so much? That's a better question.
I just feel like it's so unstylish. Like it doesn't.
And khaki denim is better.
I feel like the color khaki. Like,
I know, but you said khaki jeans. That jorts are better.
I meant like the color khaki. Sorry, let me take that one back.
Which I actually wore some this past weekend.
Call me Jim Harbaugh. The way
jorts are the right thing, and a barbecue or stuff like that. That's okay. It's passable. Okay.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like blue is just a unprofessional color. How about that one? Is that a better way to say it?
No, it's not a better way to say it.
No,
that's wrong.
It's just as bad. Like I don't even have words right. Again, style coach.
It's my unpopular opinion. It's
worth a Google. You know, they actually have those things where you can just like buy your clothes in a box and you just send them your sizes and you need somebody to just outfit you. Okay. Just take all the problems out of it.
My outfit coach is ChatGPT.
See, there's your problem.
Anyway,
big time problem.
All right. Well,
Well, God,
I got that off my chest.
Okay, thank you, God, for getting it off your chest. And we're gonna get some stuff off our chest right now. We're gonna talk about some coach speak. And I always like to look at all the different coaching moves, all the different philosophies that have changed over the past year. You know, you always have Black Monday when you have different coaches get fired or canned. And then you have their predecessor come in there and they change the philosophy, sometimes for the good, sometimes for the bad. But we want to look for it from a fantasy aspect. So we want to look at some coaches. We're gonna start with you, Derek, then God, and then usually we still with Sargo, but Derek, you're a guest. So we're gonna start with you, and then I'll finish it up. So, DBro, give us your coach that can make a fantasy impact in a positive way.
I think everybody's expecting me to say Ben Johnson. I'm not going to say Ben Johnson. That's not where I'm going. I'm going to go all the way to Duval with this one. It's Liam Cohen, dude. I mean, we saw what happened in Tampa Bay. He does a lot of things smart as a head coach, and obviously we're expecting he's calling the plays. And with that, I think we could see, this is assuming, because they are kind of bereft of weapons outside of Brian Thomas Jr. right now. Like the running game, okay, fine. We all kind of like our Tank Bigsby, but Gabriel Davis, Parker Washington, Britton Strange, these are your fighters. De'Ami Brown? No. Jacksonville has to continue to add offensive weapons in the draft. What we see, and depending on when people are listening to this, maybe that's already happened. But regardless of this, I think Liam Cohen is going to do smart things, man. And this all comes down to, like, what do we like for teams to do? What do we want? We want motion, and we want play action, because that's where we get the big plays off of play action. We get better quarterback play. We get more efficient passing offenses. And we saw that in Tampa Bay last year. I mean, Baker Mayfield was 12th in play action dropbacks. And if we think that Liam Cohen really, truly is the real deal, then I think he can make it happen in Jacksonville.
Look, I'm happy you talked about that, because it's been very, very bad over there in Jacksonville. A talented squad. I mean, you have, Trevor Lawrence, you've got Travis Etienne and Tate Bigsby, and you Nasher, Brian Thomas. So they got the talent. They need some help on the offensive line. They do need help on the offensive, another playmaker. Could that be Tet? Could that be
Genty, Tyler Warren, one of those guys?
Could it be somebody that they need? But they need somebody for that offense. But I do like the fact that Duval is on the up and up.
I also thought it was just like customary, like a nice practice for the guests to leave the low-hanging fruit for the hosts. I can't walk in here just all of a sudden just be like, Ben Johnson.
No, you know what? I didn't talk about him either, because I like what's going on over there, but I still need to see some more building. See some more building, especially on the O-line. I know that they, got some pieces there, but I still want to see it. But I want to hear what God has to say. God, what do you have to say about this?
Well, I'm really glad that the Jaguars got taken, because I was kind of flip-flopping between them or the Saints with Kellen Moore. And, I debated the Raiders, but they're a disaster and they'll never do anything right. So we can't just use them anyway.
We're not going there.
I mean, with Kellen Moore being a more offensive-minded person and a lot of already talent on that offensive Saints offense. So, I mean, I felt like, they could maybe just get elevated to a more consistent height, I would say. Like Chris Olave, obviously he has his concussions issues. Rashid Shaheed and all those injury-prone players, I feel like, if they're able to either draft or, retain their talent in order to keep them in a consistent fashion, I think that would significantly elevate that offense in a division where I feel like it's not that talented defensively, and you're consistently going to have semi-decent matchups regardless throughout the season.
Well, the other part about that too is, can I side tangent us just for a second here?
Oh yeah, please.
Because I've heard this narrative talked about, and whether people are listening to this before the NFL draft or after the NFL draft, the regardless of it is that the regardless statement of it is that people keep talking about, like, okay, if the Saints, because of all the Derek Carr stuff, if this is a horrible landing spot for a rookie quarterback, and I don't agree with that. Like, people, yet we're okay with Tennessee. We think Cleveland, who has no run game, they've got Jerry Jeudy and David Njoku, and then, okay, we feel great about Cedric Tillman, and then the Giants, who have Malik Neighbors, and then a whole lot of, I don't know. So, like, I push back about that. Like, even if we get a Jackson Dart, Shedeur Sanders there, I would be high on this offense because they have actual playmakers. And the offensive line is at least like league average. It's just as good, if not, better than the other situations that we mentioned too. So, like, yes, I agree with you. I think Kellen Moore can make some magic happen here.
Yeah, I mean, there is fantasy relevance on this offense. And Derek Carr has proven that he could support multiple pass catchers from his days with the Raiders, with Crabtree and Amari Cooper, to even Amari Cooper to, I mean, what was their tight end? Come on, before they had a tight end.
Waller.
What did Darren Waller? I mean, he's always been able to support multiple pass catchers, regardless of how good the team was. Even though, it's the Raiders, they're always a disaster. They always will be a disaster.
Wow, I feel like this is being laid on thick right now.
Yeah, it is.
There's a reason.
And I'm about.
Jeez, they're just tossing strays here.
I'm about this close to figuring out where you are. And
Nader just chucking strays. Just.
Yeah, he knows better. He tries to do this every week with me in the Raiders. And I'm just going to, I'm just going to follow it up with, we'll see what happens in the regular season. But you just get ready.
Come on, 5-12. That's what we're going to see what happens. I mean, it's almost as bad as their draft history, considering they take people like Alex Leatherwood, Cleveland Farrell, Damian Arnett.
Hey.
That's just the first round.
Keep it moving.
Like the recent drafts. Like, I don't have to go back all the way.
Excuse me. Darius Hayward Bay says hi. Thank you.
Yeah, he had one half of a good season.
And Brock Bowers trash.
Marcus Russell says, I need a high five.
Oh, God. See?
It's just so easy. It's so easy.
Henry Ruggs says hello.
Oh, no. Ooh.
I think he might be leaving Pearl soon, actually. That's a side.
Oh, God.
But anyway.
Oh, God. I'm not.
All right, look. I'm gonna get into my team. Like, I'm getting into my team because this is getting too out of hand. So I'm gonna get to my coach, to me and to everybody listening. Clint Kubiak, guys. Clint Kubiak.
Oh.
We talked a lot about the Saints. We've talked a lot about Seattle last week. I'm starting to come across with the run game with Clint Kubiak being there. We already know his pedigree. We already know what coaching tree he comes from. I'm not going to sit here and just say, but it's the Shanahan coaching tree. But I will say this with Clint Kubiak, you got a coach who's going to not only coach up the offense, he's going to coach up the offensive line. He's got Rick Dennison over there as well, the offensive line guru, and he's going to help with that offensive line. One other thing that I'm going to say, this zone out, the outside zone for this offense is perfect for a guy like Kenneth Walker, and it's even good for a person like Zach Charbonnet. I think both of them can be relevant. The thing with Kenneth Walker is, yes, you got to worry about his injury situation. Zach Charbonnet is more of a bruiser. He can handle more of those hits, but I think both of them can be fantasy relevant. And if you get Kenneth Walker, you better damn well handcuff. Oh, sorry, God. You better handcuff him with Zach Charbonnet. It's simple, easy way that you can win your league. Then you got to think about the Shanahan offense and what they do on the middle of the field, passing the ball. You got Cooper Kupp there now. You got Jackson Smith and Jigba. You've got Sam Darnold getting easy reads by doing play action. Cooper Kupp blocking down the field. Mm-hmm. This is going to be a really nice offense once they get all of. Look, see what you see what Clint Kubiak did last year with the Saints, the first 3 to 4 games of the season. And then it started to taper off, but that was with Derek Carr. That offense was a little more in shambles than what this one is in Seattle.
Everybody got hurt, too.
Everybody got hurt.
Yeah, everybody got hurt.
So with this situation in Seattle, they focused on the offensive line during the draft, maybe get another piece off the offensive line as well. I think that this is going to be an offense that thrives in year one of Clint Kubiak. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I like that call. Especially, I'm all in on Kenneth Walker this year. I love that call.
Yeah.
Now we can debate for days about JSN and Cooper Kupp. I mean, really, for me, I think you're going to see a much more efficient offense, a well-directed offense, and if nothing else, I do believe we are going to get a career season out of Kenneth Walker this year. Like, I'll go out on a limb here. No, I know I'm going to sound hyperbolic about this because I am being about it, but I think Kenneth Walker this year puts up a Josh Jacobs in Raiders season this year in Seattle. Okay. I think he is a top 5 running back this year.
I agree. I agree. Tip and I we discussed about we discussed Kenneth Walker last week, I believe. It was last week's episode.
Right.
And we said, you know what? Hey, this guy, when he has his jump cut, cuts up the field, there's probably nobody more electric than him.
Yeah.
It's just his health.
No,
he doesn't jump cut like Kenneth Walker does.
Bijan has some ridiculous cuts, bro. Like, no, you really
we're not going to shade. We're not trying to shade Bijan here, are
like,
we?
No,
I'm not trying to shade Bijan.
Yeah, he is.
Saying, we're not doing that, are we?
I'm just saying. All I'm saying is that Bijan has a 102 or 103 redraft capital. Kenneth Walker is probably 3rd or 4th round capital. That's all I'm saying.
I think it's going to go up, but yeah, I see what you're saying right now. Right now,
I think he's the 4th round because he's been hurt so many different times.
That's the thing, DBro. That's the thing that scares me so much about him, because I've never really had Kenneth Walker in any of my teams because I'm always afraid of him getting hurt. Now I've had plenty of that.
What if he stays healthy, dude?
Well, no, I agree. I think that if he does stay healthy, he could be a top 10 running back, no question. Top 5, yes, I can see him cut into that. But that's the thing. You got to have Zach Charbonnet. You've got, like, I've never really invested too much in Kenneth Walker, especially the last few years, but I've invested heavily in Zach Charbonnet because I always know Kenneth Walker's going to get hurt. And he has. And so that's my only thing about Kenneth Walker. If you do go out there and get Kenneth Walker 4th round, 3rd round, 5th round, you've got to handcuff him with Zach Charbonnet, in my opinion. And you got to be aggressive getting Charbonnet because somebody else will too.
I lied. I'm shading Bijan Robinson.
Oh, God.
Tyler Algier squad. Let's go.
Oh.
Vulture squad.
Nader, I don't even worry. I don't worry.
Right. Yeah.
I really don't.
Yeah. No.
Bijan Robinson's going to be the RB1 overall this year.
Thank you.
And I don't think the conversation is close at all.
I'm still on the Saquon train.
I mean, yeah.
Nah.
Curse at 370 though. Always remember that. All right.
I don't believe in it.
Wait, well, it's a real thing.
CMC says hi. Josh Jacobs says hi. DeMarco Murray says hi. Derrick Henry even says hi.
Yeah, but can they do a 360 backwards no scope hurdle over a defender? No, they can't. But he can. But
not all of us can run behind the Philadelphia Eagles line, which basically gives you 4 yards without being touched.
Exactly why he's going to do it again.
That's a hard metric to live up to, dude.
It is.
Hard
but I think. Well, actually, we're not even going to discuss this 101 stuff.
You brought up the Bijan shade.
I did.
You fall down the raft. I mean, you started this, not us.
You have fallen from heaven, God, and now you are I don't know. You're back down to earth with this Bijan Robinson crap, and I can't take it anymore, dude. I'm telling you, Bijan Robinson has so much potential to just break everything that fantasy football has to offer this year. I'm telling people right now, you get him on your lineup, he is going to get you for sure, get you close, the closest you can get to a championship. The only thing that you're going to have an issue with is if he gets injured or if you just do such a terrible draft after Bijan Robinson. But getting Bijan Robinson is a top priority for a lot of my teams this year, for 100%. All right, let's go to segment 2. And this right here, we're going to place your bets, okay? So I want to talk to you guys about an early season line bet future in the NFL that has caught your eye, because there's several. With me working with odds checkers now, I check these things daily, hourly, and I've seen some really tasty ones. But DBro, we're going to start with you. Give us an early season feature.
I would love to tell you that I'm just playing to the crowd here because I know Tip and I's affinity for a certain player. But honestly, I just think this is one of the best bets on the futures board right now. I'm smashing. I am putting the mortgage. I am putting it all on the over Bijan Robinson's rushing yards right now, which is honestly, it is an egregious number, people. His rushing yard line is set at 1,150 yards. It's minus 115 on both sides. Dude, come on, man. He ran for 1,450 yards last year. You look at when he really got going, when they stopped all this Tyler Algier bullshit, and they were like, okay, we know where our bread is buttered, and it's with Bijan Robinson, baby. So week 6 through 18, Bijan was on pace for almost 1,700 rushing yards. He is going to obliterate this line. He might get to 1K before, like right at midseason, and you're going to be staring at it saying, I mean, it's already cash, dude. Let's go.
Hell yeah, I love it. I love it. Yeah, that is egregious, like you said, DBro. So that's
crazy line, dude.
That's one that we can't go on that one. All right, Natter, God, whatever you want to call yourself. What is yours?
The correct one would be the proper term, but
the correct
one. I'm gonna go. I think this is kind of a layup, which is why I kind of want to do it. It'd be Cam Ward for rookie of the year. I mean, I feel like it's just a toss-up that they just give it to the rookie quarterback, specifically if they're 101, and he really doesn't have to do much to get it, just because I feel like there isn't that much competition. I feel like the only person that could really take it away from him would be Ashton Genty.
Yeah, I mean that's some pretty serious competition, right?
That is. Depends where he goes, yes. But I still feel like just because it's a quarterback-driven league, like Genty has to do something phenomenal in order to take it away from Cameron Ward.
Fair. Now, what I'll say is I think it's not just Cam Ward playing well, and I'm not poo-pooing the bet. I think it's definitely live because you're right. It's a quarterback award, and if the quarterbacks are good, I mean, really, he should be, if not the favorite. I mean, I don't know if y'all have the odds pulled up right now. Like, is he the favorite for it?
You know what? Let's look it up.
I see offensive player of the year. I see defensive player of the year. I'm looking for rookie. What I will say is, and what I was trying to bring this up about is how many games do you think the Tennessee Titans win this year? Because that's the only way where that's where you look at it. Can Genty hop him, or even Ted if he comes out and just balls the hell out, or Tyler, one of these guys? The positional player and the favorite here would be Ashton Genty. But if Tennessee is where the door opens for this, and it's not a quarterback, is Tennessee wins only like 4 or 5 games. Yeah. If Cam Ward is really stinking good, but the rest of the team still sucks. Where do y'all put Tennessee's win total at this year?
I like to give him.
I was gonna say 6.
Yeah, I was gonna say 5 to 6.
But not a 500 team, and definitely not sniffing for the playoffs. So no, I mean, but to the point here, I think Cam Ward and Ashton Genty are fine bets. They're both live bets. Yeah. It just depends on how you want. You know, I honestly, depending on the odds and stuff like that, hell, just spray it. Bet both.
Yeah.
So let's see right now. Genty on one of the sites I'm looking at is odds is plus 250. Cam Ward is plus 400.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay.
I'd probably wait to see
where
Genty
are those the 2 favorites?
Yes. Then it becomes Travis Hunter at plus 700. Shador's at plus 800. And if Shador, I predict he goes to the Saints. If he does go to the Saints, honestly,
that could
I would consider that one as well.
I mean, yeah, dude, you could really craft a really good narrative to whoever goes to the Saints, like easy, like a winnable division. Atlanta, we hope, is better and stuff like that. But are they really a playoff team? Michael Penix is still unproven. The rest of that division, Carolina is not threatening for that division. Tampa Bay and the Saints, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I know. That's a good point right there.
Yeah, I like it, but I just don't. Again, with now hearing Genty was plus 400. Shador plus 800, Shador plus 800 wherever he lands, and if he lands in a good situation, I might try to go more towards that. But I don't know. I got to see more of Cam Ward to see what he does, man. It just, to me, it's almost like a wash of what they already have. I mean, yeah, they got a guy who can throw the ball a ton in Will Levis. That's what he's known for. He makes crazy mistakes. Simple mistakes. A lot of them. Let's see if Cam Ward can come in there and clean that up and see what happens with that too. But I like all 3 of them really, but really the one I'm really going toward would be this Shador Sanders, depending on his landing spot.
Dude, Travis Hunter is live at plus 700 too. Like if he does the unicorn thing, like he plays both ways, and the rest of these guys like don't have amazing rookie seasons. Yeah. Like I mean, You don't really have to like twist my arm. Like, honestly, I think the board, the way it should stack up right now and the odds are, I think Genty should be the overwhelming favorite. I actually think Hunter should be the guy that's second in the odds, not Cam Ward. So like Hunter at plus 700.
Okay.
Yes, I want to wet speak on that too.
Let's talk about this real quick with Hunter, and then I'll get to mine. With him playing on possibly both sides of the field, how much do you think that he's really going to have the ball in his hands on offense? Because he has to exert all that energy playing on the defensive end. Like, what do you think is a realistic, target or touch? I wouldn't even say target because he's a weapon. So touch. What's a realistic touch per game for him?
So here's the deal. If he goes to Cleveland, they have been loudly stating that he's going to be a full-time wide receiver. So I think he honestly just could play full-time wide receiver if he does go to Cleveland. Now, if he goes to another spot, then we're talking, I honestly think that it's full-time corner. Like, you can make the case of like, I mean, not the Patriots, but if he were to go to the Giants, or if he were to slip somehow and go to the Jaguars, or some other team like comes up and trades up for him at 2, which again, we're recording this pre-NFL draft, we have no freaking clue. But it comes down to, if he does play cornerback full time, I think you're looking at Travis Hunter as like a 12 to 15 snap, probably in that 12 snap range. Now, in that, if he's out there for only the passing downs and he's running 12 to 15 routes a game, I think a lot of it is going to be schemed up stuff, make it easy, put the ball in his hands, give him first read targets, screen targets. Like, basically, he's running the easy stuff. He's not doing – if he's on the field, he's probably getting the freaking football. So, even if we were to, like, ramp up the target per route run rate, like, say he's at 30, 33%, you're looking at, like, 5, maybe 6 targets a week. Probably more likely in that 4 to 5 range. So, he's going to have to break a few big plays, or he's going to have to get more usage than what I'm talking about. But, I mean, it's possible, dude. Like, if he – so let's just play it out. So say he finishes his rookie season, he plays for the Browns, or no, not the Browns. He goes somewhere else and he plays split duty, like we're talking about.
Right.
He gets 3 picks. He's not like a Pro Bowl level corner, but he's like, he has a really good year. Like, it's not Sauce Gardner-esque at cornerback, but it's pretty good. And he finishes with like 400 to 500 receiving yards and like say 6 touchdowns.
Okay.
I don't know, man. Like that's a pretty. It's a case.
That's a hell of an IDP player. I'll tell you that. Hell of an IDP player. Yeah.
But like, so if he plays both sides, that means he would get judged compared to the other ones on both sides, other respective rookies on both sides. And if you compare 600 receiving yards to other wide receivers that maybe got close to 1,000, I don't know. I don't know if they would grade it on a curve for him on the idea that, but he's playing both sides.
I mean, yeah, but aren't we grading him on a curve as a prospect? Like, we're not saying, he's a fully formed wide receiver, because he's got a lot of holes in his game, but people talk about him like he's an alien. He's the number 1 player in the entire draft, and he's still got a lot to clean up as a wide receiver. So, I mean, kind of as a prospect, we're already grading him on a curve, right?
You grade every prospect on a curve initially, right? So I don't know.
Okay, but if he does the unicorn stuff on both sides, I mean, I think the curve grading remains. I'll put it that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so too. I think it does remain. And even GM of the Browns, Andrew Berry, said he is Ohtani. Like, he can do it all. He compared him to Ohtani. I was like, when I saw that, I was like, what? That's what he said. That's what he said.
If he goes to Cleveland, just set the narrative. I'm only going to say this. This is all I think I need to say with this. He goes to Cleveland, and Joe Flacco is throwing him YOLO balls down the field.
Bro.
I mean, that's like older Jameis. That's all it is. It's older Jameis. It's like geriatric Jameis, like Cleveland. We're just like, okay, let's go.
All right, let me get to mine real quick. So mine is right now. I was looking on OddsChecker, plus 500 for the Bears to win the division in the NFC North. I like it. I really want to see what these Bears team does in the draft. They have addressed the offensive line. They got Joe Thuney. They got Morgan Moses as well. They got a few other offensive pieces. Are they going to add an offensive piece in the draft? What's going to happen with Keenan Allen? We know that he's not on the team right now. What are they going to do with him? Are they going to add a tight end? Are they going to add Ashton Jinty? Again, we're recording this before the draft, so we don't know. But it's really intriguing with this team. Then you add Ben Johnson. I know we didn't want the low-hanging fruit for you, DBro, earlier, but I will say this. The low-hanging fruit is there. Ben Johnson's coming in. He's gonna emphasize on the offensive line. That's how he won in Detroit, by having one of the better offensive line. So I say that this offensive line makes a dramatic leap towards middle to the end of the season. It always takes a little bit of time for everybody to gel and find that continuity. But towards the middle of the end of that season, that's when this team, if you remember, the Browns 4-2 before their bye week. And then after that, they wet the bed. This year, I think that they kind of start off a little slow, get acclimated, and then boom, with a bang, they start to get everything together, get the defense going. I think they got a shot to actually win this division. And at plus 500, I'm taking that all day. I like it.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I think it's a fine bet. I do think that it's very interesting. Like, I definitely think the odds are wrong that the Green Bay Packers should not be the second most favored team in that division.
Mm-hmm.
To piggyback on that bet, if you don't even want to make the bet that they take the division from the Lions, I also like the just betting them to make the playoffs. I mean, right now that's at plus 160.
Yeah, that's a good one too. Yeah, I like that one.
Because they don't even have to take the division. Like, we're talking like they get 10 wins and
you're in.
Probably Yahtzee. Okay.
So think of it this way, right? You know, as God, I've always made sure there's a couple laws in the football world. Like, one, Steelers always have a diva wide receiver. They always draft a diva wide receiver with Hall of Fame talent. Always, the Niners draft a Hall of Fame level middle linebacker.
We're giving George Pickens Hall of Fame talent, huh? Wow, I didn't know we were doing that. We're talking about some leaps here.
Well, they'll draft one this year. Don't worry. The Patriots always drafting an elite cornerback. Browns always being trash. The Raiders always drafting a criminal.
Oh, stop.
And last but not least, the Bears always having a terrible quarterback. I don't think a coaching change changes this.
Oh, I think you're wrong, God.
It's just, you know, it's the letter of the law. Jay Cutler is by far the best quarterback that franchise has ever had.
I've seen a
that is a low bar, and they're limboing underneath it.
No, you're wrong.
That's all I'm saying.
I will say, how much do you think it smarts that for Bears fans that they didn't take Jaden Daniels, and the reason that polls would have never taken him is that stylistically the fan base would have revolted to take Jaden Daniels when they just got rid of Justin Fields. Like, you knew they were never going to take Jaden Daniels, but how much do you think it smarts the fact that Bears fans stare at Caleb in the rookie year he had, and then they watch Jaden Daniels go almost to the Super Bowl, and they're like, he could have been us. It could have been us.
But Caleb wasn't. He had his very bad moments where he looked terrible.
Horrendous.
He was bad.
But it was sometimes it was worse than Justin Fields, and you know how I feel about Justin Fields.
He was really bad.
We know also how.
But he was bad.
We also know how bad that offensive line was too.
It's not good either.
I think that is something that he needs. He needs a really solid offensive line. That way he can do his little maneuvering around the pocket. Every team needs that. You're right. But I think that if he has this solid offensive line with that mind of in Ben Johnson, and they can get a run game going, I think he makes a big push this year. A 180 from what he did last year. But he makes a big push, and I think that he becomes fantasy relevant big time.
I hope so, dude. Because if not, I just talked about how pissed Bears fans are right now. If he has 2 bad years in a row, how pissed do you think they're going to be?
I don't. And that's the thing I like about Caleb Williams too. What I've noticed is when I would watch the games, he was getting his ass kicked and getting beat up on the ground all game long. Kept going. He would be frustrated, but he kept coming, kept going, kept a positive attitude. And that's some things I look at too. When he kept that positive attitude, the team started to build around him because the whole narrative behind him was he was a different person. He was, a little eccentric and whatnot. I who cares about that?
But the same thing that the media tried to do to Caleb last cycle, they're trying to do to Shador this cycle.
Yeah, it's like I don't care about that.
I agree with you on that.
I want to see how you are with your fellas on the field.
Yeah.
And I saw a lot of characteristics from Caleb that I thought he could be a good leader for this team. And he seems like a low-key type dude, doesn't try to bring a lot of attention to himself. He likes to play ball and he wants to win. So I think this is a big year for him. I think that he shows Bear fans, hey, you've been waiting all this time. Now I'm going to come and help you guys out or be your savior. But we got segment 3, and segment 3 is a Melsack question of the day. And this is for you, DBro. After free agency moves have settled, which team will you invest in this year for fantasy that you passed on last season?
So, I'm going to begin this with owning an L. I was out on this team overall outside of Jaleel McLaughlin. So I did not draft. I was not drafting Javonte Williams. I was not in on Bo Nix. I was not in on Cortland Sutton. And that was basically it because everybody else freaking sucked. We didn't know. But with this team, I was not in on the Broncos at all last year. And I'm in this year, man. We're recording this before the NFL draft. We assume they're going to take a running back in round 1, whether that's Marion or Travion. Wheels up. Cortland Sutton, I think, is going to still be a low-end wide receiver 2, high-end 3. It's all volume fueled. Dude, if Evan Ingram can stay healthy, and I know it's a big if, but if he could stay healthy, we've already seen the ceiling. He could be a top 5 tight end in fantasy. He could be top 3. He could be this year's Jonnu Smith. That can happen this year. He could just, he not even just like this year's Jonnu Smith. He could be yesteryear's Evan Ingram. We could see that. We could see that happen this year. And I'm not even talking about, okay, Denver takes a running back in round 1. They're still live to take a wide receiver in this draft because Marvin Mims, Troy Franklin, Devon Vele, you really want to go to war with those dudes as your wide receiver 2 in a team? Or should I say, well, wide receiver 3 if Ingram's the 2, but still, dude. This has the potential to be a very good offense. I was wrong on Bo Nix. He played extremely good football. And now adding to this team that is a damn good defense. They have a really good offensive line. And now, really, I think this draft class is we need to surround Bo Nix because he's proven that he can play. We need to surround him with playmakers. And they're not going to stop with just Evan Ingram and Cortland Sutton. I think they draft the heir apparent to Cortland Sutton. I don't think he gets the contract extension, but all this is to say is Denver is a team that I'm going to be investing heavily in. And I, again, outside of Jaleel McLaughlin last year, I didn't want any part of it, man.
You want to know one of the most exciting things about investing in the Broncos this year, DBro, is the Chiefs are going to have to endure this as well because they're going to have to go through.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to have to go through Denver. They're going to have to go through LA, the Chargers. They're going to have to go through the Raiders now. Well, look, really. I knew you were going to come on here, guys, and start acting up. But I'm telling you, the Chiefs better watch out. I think they're
still by far the best team.
The Denver Broncos are plus 450 to take the division. I'll lay a little bit of cash there.
There you go. See,
I'll lay a little bit of cash there.
See, look, that's not bad. All right, so this is the show for today. Level Up, Level 9 with DBro, Derek Brown of Fantasy Pros to tell us again where we can see all of your awesome work, some projects that you have coming up as well.
Man, thank y'all for the time. This was a fantastic show. Ton of fun. Right now it's all NFL draft. It's all dynasty. So depending on when you're listening to this, I'm going to be live on Fantasy Pros YouTube channel covering the NFL draft day 1 and day 2. I think I'm on camera for 29 of the 32 picks. So I get a small reprieve, bathroom break, caffeine, and right back on. And so it's all NFL draft. And really, everybody's like, I've gotten texts from people today, man, you're going to get a break. It's going to be a good thing. And the NFL draft pops off. And then, you're going to get a chance to rest like Thanos. And it's like, no, that's not what happens. So just to peel back the curtain here for a second, that's when the real work starts, baby. Because right after the draft is done, I'm updating my positional primers, which are live on the site. So quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end. I will be updating my top 100, which is 100 skill players. Those 4 positions, it's all nothing but skill players. That will be updated after the draft. redraft rankings, dynasty rankings, best ball rankings. Because once we get all these landing spots, everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, it's best ball season, baby!" And with all of those things, shooting for all of those updates to be live on the site Monday or Tuesday. So it's not only the NFL draft, boys. It's a ton of work this weekend, and I'm so happy to be doing all of it.
Thank you again so much.
So, DBro, I got a question, actually, like a more technical question for you.
Oh dear.
Because no, I don't actually it's not that
up for something here.
No. It's not that bad of a setup. So,
okay. Oh, but it is a setup. You did say it was a setup there.
I guess technically. All right, you got me there. All right. So when you're, I always try to get different opinions and different mindsets or viewpoints when evaluating players. And the past couple of years, I've been doing the method of, you know what, I'm not even going to evaluate film watch, all 22 watch until after the draft.
Okay.
That way I can see a little bit more of like what I'm looking into. Because like, for example, like, you know what, if the Niners were to take a wide receiver, hypothetically, you know what, they probably want somebody that's more of like a yak yardage guy, maybe a little bit more physical to replace Deebo Samuel. So I'm like, okay, when they draft the receiver, I could be like, okay, is he actually going to fill that role properly? Or do I feel like he's a miss in that category? Or are they trying to go for something else?
Okay.
When you evaluate a player, do you think pre-draft before he's on a team, like how he could fit into a scheme? Or are you looking just at the overall consumption of the player?
Good question. That's a damn good question. So
I've been struggling with that. Sorry.
It's both. So I look at the skill sets of the players, and there's some guys that you want to see them utilized in certain schemes depending on their skill sets and where they're at in play as players right now. So I think there's a lot of. I mean, do you really want to peel back the layers of the onion? Because we can have a really good conversation with this. Like for me, it comes down to not only the skill set of the player, but where do I see their game evolving and how does that look like? One player, just giving an example here. I love Jaden Higgins. I want Jaden Higgins to go to freaking Denver because I want Sean Payton to put him in to be slant God 2.0. Because if you put him in the slot and make him a big slot, he's going to be really freaking good from the word go. But if some team drafts him and asks him to play traditional X and go beat man press all the freaking time, he can do that, but that's one of the points that he has to improve in his game right now. So for me, when I'm looking at certain players, there are players, and this is all, it depends on, I let the guys film do the talking, and it depends on the player's skill set in general. You'll have a lot of guys, and whether you want to go to however we want to devise this up, but like, you'll have guys, especially like saying running backs, that are scheme agnostic. And you'll have other guys where you're saying, okay, depending on their body type, how they run, what they're good at, the composition of their athleticism, and how they run, it's like, okay, they probably need to go to a team that's going to utilize them more on inside zone runs, gap runs, get them downhill. Or does this guy have the speed to consistently gain the edge? Is he a one-cut runner and he's going to be really good in a stretch zone scheme? So it's a lot of it comes down to like, yes, I think of certain team fits when I'm thinking about players. To your point, and you brought up San Francisco, dude, if they were to just get like the third or fourth round guy and run it back with the Deebo stuff, just go draft Savion Williams. Just go draft Savion Williams and ask him to beat Deebo, dollar store Deebo, do the Deebo things, get some rushing, get some wildcat, let it just put the ball in his hands and let him just go bully dudes. Like that would be a perfect fit for that role. So there are players that were like, I look at scheme, I look at athleticism, and I look at all the other parts or pieces to a player's game. I will look at and say, all right, there's teams that I hope they go to. But the other part of this, and that we don't know, and this is one of the wonderful things, is we're doing all of this with either a few years of data and ideas of how a scheme functions. The other part about this is we're dealing with a lot of unknowns because teams will have new coaches. Coaches will do new things with their offenses depending on the personnel they have one season to the next. So there's a lot to unpack there, but I think the easy answer for me is yes, I do consider skill sets. Yes, I do consider landing spots. And yes, I do look at all of that in the totality of looking at a player's game and projecting their game to the NFL level.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I mean, it's a beautiful answer, and it's the right answer. When you're an analysis like DBro is, you have to look at all angles, guys. So.
Yes, because like for example, a lot of people, including myself, that we to take it back a couple years ago, you know what, Rashad Bateman, he was killing in the film,
Mm-hmm.
and you know what, we would be like, I felt like him and Amon-Ra St. Brown. I think they came out in the same draft class.
They did.
I don't remember exactly. They
They
were
did.
the two, in my opinion, the two surefire like draft bust-proof type players.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? He went to the Ravens. And last year he was a good piece, but I wouldn't say fantasy relevant piece. He was a good NFL piece.
Mm-hmm.
But Amon-Ra St. Brown, he became the bona fide number one. But the two difference between the two is the landing spot. So I think this year
injuries too. Bateman was dogged by injuries the first 2 to 3 years of his of his career. If he would have stayed healthy, I also think that would look a little bit different, because if he was healthy, do they go draft Zay Flowers? Probably not. You know what I mean? So I think that looks a whole lot different depending on the injuries and stuff too.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. I can't argue with that. But I think like this year and last year more specifically, I said, what? I'm going to wait to do the evaluations until after they pick a team. That way, I think I have more of an understanding on what that team's trying to do. I mean, yeah, you made a really good point that teams they switch their scheme up, year to year, week to week in some cases. So yeah, I guess yeah, that makes complete sense in that answer.
Perfect. Yeah. Again, a great answer. Great question. First of all, a great answer by DBro. Again, guys, thank you so much for being on. DBro, are you going to be at the expo this year?
I plan on being there. Okay. I don't know. It's up in the air with the powers that be at Fantasy Pros, because we've done a whole lot of things so far. Like I pounded the table to go to Senior Bowl again this year.
Okay.
I pounded the table for them to pay to send me to the Combine this year and do all of that coverage. So the idea is that, yes, I think we're going to have a presence at the expo.
Okay.
I think the way that it's going right now and trending, I haven't gotten the full green light and the thumbs up yet, but I think I'm going to be there in Canton this year. So the question here is, are you boys going to be there?
I'll be there. I'm going to be there.
I'm trying to work around it, because I might be taking a vacation out of the U.S. I don't know. We'll see. But at the same time, do I really want to go see the Browns? I don't know. Like, what's in Cleveland?
So all I heard was just the tip in Cleveland. Just the tip.
Potentially.
Just the tip.
People can't handle the whole thing. Just the tip.
It's girthy.
I love it. All right, get us out of here. I appreciate you guys so much, man. Thank you.
All right, good luck, everybody.